Hello, everybody! Thank you for joining me again on CJogo. I am thrilled to see you! Now, as you may have noticed, one thing you can guarantee when you watch a CJogo video is that my hair is going to look different. But you know what will never change on this channel? We're always going to talk about great adventures, great destinations, and how you can enjoy it on the cheap, and just sharing all kinds of tips that will help to make your stay wonderful. Now, guys, before we jump into today's location, which I'm actually very excited to talk about, I want to pause and just invite you to do the typical thing when you watch a YouTube video: like, subscribe, share, comment, head over to my vlog. No, this is a vlog, my blog. It's so confusing. Head over to my blog where I always give you more information on the videos so you can know the 411 on how to have a great time wherever it is we're talking about, and where I also share travel tips that might be helpful. So today, relax, get ready. We're going to tropical islands. When you call on the customer service care, they have a song that goes like tropical islands. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's a nice catchy song. But anyway, tropical islands, where is it? Tropical islands is located in Germany. Some articles may tell you it is in Berlin. It's not exactly in Berlin, so it's kind of arguable, but I can understand why people say that it's Berlin, because it's very close. So you can go from Berlin to tropical islands in like about an hour and a half or so. But it's literally in Brandenburg, which is a state neighboring Berlin. But it doesn't really matter. The point is, it's easy to get to from Berlin. You can just take public transportation, the regional ban, and then you come off at a stop that is named off of Tropical Islands, Brand Tropical Islands, and then you can get a shuttle from Tropical Islands straight to the location. It's very comfortable, and it's a free shuttle. It's reliable, it's clean, so that's how you get there. But what is Tropical Islands? Okay, so this is fun to describe. Tropical islands is like a paradox, okay? It's like the tropics, but it's not. It's like very real, but it's not. So it's a man-made huge dome where there's this artificial tropical paradise, right? And what I love about tropical islands is that it's like a blend of some very popular like tropical islands. Yeah, tropical islands. So like Bali, Indonesia, mixed with Jamaica, mixed with like probably Bora Bora. It's like all a nice mix. And what I love is that when I stepped in, I just immediately felt like I was on vacation. Even though I was just there for a day, I felt relaxed. I felt almost like I was back in Jamaica at a North Coast resort, because it just really had that island vibe. It just felt like a very relaxing, happy place. Maybe it's the music, maybe it's that everybody looks happy, I don't know. But it was just a really nice day for me. Now, what can you do at tropical islands? That's another thing that I find very fascinating about the place. Like, especially if you're there for just a day, I don't think you'll get bored. So there are lots of places that you can eat at if you're a foodie like me. But aside from that, if you're into adventure, there's like a hot air balloon ride that you can take at an additional cost. It's also home to Germany's largest water slide. I had a great excuse for not going on it so that I don't look like a coward. It was actually closed. Thank you, God. So I spared myself the humiliation and embarrassment of saying I was too scared to go on it. It was really high. I went on the kiddies water slide, and that was my jam. I did it over and over. I really enjoyed that one. But yeah, you have water slides, you have the indoor balloon, hot air indoor balloon thing. You have you have mini golf as well. There's a shopping boulevard. There's a game arcade. There's a sauna. There's a spa, so you can get spa services done. It's a lot. And there are various pools, and the pools are really nice and relaxing and also beautiful because they have like sand, and it's pretty nice, guys. They have like this rainforest, and it's with real plants and even flamingos, real animals, butterflies. It's really cool. I don't know how they do it. It's really kind of mind-boggling and fascinating. I mean, I would recommend going in the winter, one, because the entrance fee is usually a bit lower at that time, especially if you're going to stay overnight. It's usually lower. Not the entrance fee, I should say the accommodations are usually lower in that time. But also because it really is a nice way to escape the cold in Berlin, and I think it makes the space even much more fascinating, which is probably why I really enjoyed it, because I stepped from being freezing cold outside to, oh my gosh, I'm in the tropics, like kind of, but not really, but this is awesome. Like, it was really, really nice. So I really enjoyed that. Also, what would I say? Another thing about tropical islands that's very cool is when you go in the winter, if you use the outdoor pools, they're heated, so you get this really confusing, fun sensation of, am I cold? No. Am I hot? Like, what do I feel? It's like a feeling that you probably haven't had before. So that's also pretty neat. So I would really recommend tropical islands. I gave it an 8 out of 10. I went with my sister, and when I asked her, she said she gave it a 10 out of 10. And she actually has very high standards. And she's traveled to more places than me. So, like, yeah, the fact that she gave it a 10 out of 10, I think is really, really that says something. For me, it's just hard for me to give a 10 out of 10, guys. Like, I have to be absolutely in love to give a 10 out of 10. I really did love Tropical Islands. I mean, I think there are a few things that I would perhaps change. Overall, it was great, but like to make it super, super awesome, maybe a welcome drink when he came in would be nice. Not necessary, but you know, because if it's mimicking that tropical hospitality that's very typical when you go to a tropical destination, a nice welcome drink, that would have been an A plus. But I mean, in a more practical sense, I think one of the things that threw us off a bit was that when we went to the buffet, the pricing wasn't very clear. So they did tell you that it was weighed by weight, but I'd never experienced that before, and then my bill ended up coming up to a lot more than I expected. That was my fault, but for if you've never done that system before, it can be a little bit confusing and you end up spending a bit more than expected. So that was a little bit of, you know, it was something that threw me off a little bit. I think another thing that would be helpful would probably be to have golf carts to drive people around, because it is actually quite big. And especially if you're like older, you know, if you're traveling with an older person, I think that would be a good option to have because it's a huge space. And then also, I think that checkout was a little bit challenging for us. They do have an automated kiosk, but it wasn't that straightforward. I don't know if it's changed since I visited, but we needed some help, and it was a bit stressful because we're trying to catch a shuttle to head back to Berlin. So I think checkout could probably be a bit more straightforward, and agents could be a bit more available on the ground, because it's also hard to find some of the parts of Tropical Islands because it's so big. And yeah, there are some places, for example, we wanted to explore but we just couldn't find it, and it was kind of hard to find a team member to say, hey, how do I get here? So I think they could have more persons floating around to help the patrons. But aside from that, I definitely recommend it. I think you should go there. So I hope you guys learned something new and you now have a nice place you could head to if you should visit Germany. And I hope to see you again next time and to see where we go. Bye!